the fact that we were even happy to have found a tie. I sat back, I was watching one of the videos, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
We are happy to find a tie. Meanwhile, in Accra, in Ghana, the ties are everywhere. When they say travel and see, this was the real travel and see.
Done. Welcome to the Compass Show.
Thank you.
My name is Kofi Amofapin.
My name is Daniel Ashrefi.
Ashrefi.
Yes. There's a fancy version, which is a Sophie.
Yeah, Sophie. I hear Sophie.
There's also some from a Kropon.
Okay. So I want to give you a little description of what the Compass Show is about. Yeah, we are trying to make specialized knowledge accessible.
Absolutely.
Basically. And today happens to be about AIS and motorcycles. I'm very excited. I've always wanted to ride a bike. But
let me tell you, family is not allowing you. Friends not allowing you.
Yes.
You see an Okada guy misbehave on the road.
Yeah.
Somebody's leg is amputated. Your friend, the doctor, told you.
Correct.
So those are the things.
Your skin and ground.
Yes.
Yes. And I also think the environment here in Accra especially doesn't really support the riding of bikes. That's what I think.
But which environment was made for riding bikes?
I've been to Tamale a couple of times, and because there are lots of bikers there, it's a bit orderly compared to here.
It will be very difficult for you to convince me that there are more bikes in other regions than in Accra. Yeah. Both the high-end bikes and then the low-end bikes.
Do you also agree that the culture in...
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'll be the first person to tell you how motorcycling has been bastardized in Accra. But it is the people, us.
So what do you think? What do you think causes that?
So I'm a motorcycle riding instructor. I've been running a motorcycle riding school for the last 7 years. In my own small way, I have come in to try and change the narrative. Get people started right, imbibe the right cultures into them, and then ensure that they do motorcycling the right way. One of my taglines is, motorcycling can be done right. A lot of people have done motorcycling the wrong way, and so over time it's caused disaffection. I'm sure you agree with me. And so we are trying to change the narrative now. It's not been easy, but I'm trying my best.
So success rate over 100%. Where do you think you are?
I'll give myself close to 40%.
Close to 40.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, let's start from what made you get into motorcycle. What was the first encounter with the bike?
I'm born to a motorcycle mechanic dad. My dad is a motorcycle mechanic, so it was more like I didn't have an option then. But when you look at things, I think that I chose to go into it because I have other siblings who are not into motorcycling as much as I am. We were born around the same places. We all grew up around the same places. Guys.
How many guys?
In all, we are 6 guys.
6 guys?
Yes.
And only you went into motorcycling?
Not only me. Okay. 3 of us are into motorcycling. Okay. The other 3 are not so much into motorcycling.
Okay.
So, yes, the platform was given, but I grabbed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And how has it been so far since you entered?
I have no regrets.
No regrets?
I have no regrets. I don't know what my life would have been without motorcycles. Yeah, I have no regrets.
Haven't you had any terrible experience where it will make you feel like, no, actually, the motorbike be too... Because I've had people who have actually quit riding. It's not that they've had accidents, no. They just quit because they felt it was too dangerous, something.
It is indeed dangerous. People have died right in front of me. But there are no guarantees in life. There is no guarantee that if you don't ride a motorcycle will not kill you. There is no guarantee that if you don't drive a car will not kill you. There are no guarantees in life. What I think is that when you do it the best possible way available to mankind. Reduce risk as much as possible. and ensure that you do it right.
So do you think those incidents were avoidable?
Yes.
All of them?
Not, I can't say avoidable completely, but maybe
The impact would have been
would have been
reduced.
minimized, or the chances of survival would have been better if things were done differently in hindsight.
So what are some of the things that you felt could have been, people can do differently?
Okay.
Extreme situations.
Let me tell you this. I have a friend who told me that he lost his best friend in Latvia. Latvia. And he says that if that friend of his was riding in Ghana, he wouldn't have died. And let me tell you the story. There is huge respect for motorcyclists in Latvia. And so somebody was riding. He knew there was no way anybody would come and knock him off because they have huge respect for motorcycling. And so he was in his right of way riding. A car from nowhere, drunk driver, came to knock him and then killed him. In Ghana, we ride as though people want to kill us every day. And so we always have our gas higher up. You understand?
Yeah, I get you.
So
I get you.
he is from France. He started riding in Ghana, I think, in 2020. And knowing what he knew, or what he knew, he said if his friend rode in Ghana, he wouldn't have, let his
You'll have been
guard
more
down,
cautious.
more cautious. So there's a downside and then there's an upside. If I go anywhere in the world and I'm riding, regardless of how the laws favor motorcyclists, I will never let my guard down because of where I'm coming from. So there's an upside and then there's a downside.
So when you say you never let your guard down, what do you mean?
I will never assume that a car will not be coming from anywhere. Because when we ride in Accra, it's like every second you are fighting for your life. Every second you are fighting for your life. You don't have that luxury of taking your eye off the ball. Whereas in other countries, I'm in my lane, there's no way any car would come and shove me, push me up the road, honk at me. No, in some countries those things don't happen. It happens to us hourly in Ghana. And so it makes us tough. It molds us differently. I hope you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
I'd like to go into the principle of riding a bike.
Yep.
How do we ride bikes safely? From the start of the engine to being on the road to just the basic principle, the foundation of riding bikes in Ghana.
Good. I'll start it from here. Motorcycling as a sport or as a means of transportation is dangerous. Naturally. Even from the get-go, it's a dangerous sport. Where we are riding makes it even more dangerous. What you ride makes it even more and more dangerous. How you ride makes it worse off. And I'll take it one by one. The motorcycle as a contraption is a dangerous machine because you don't have anything that protects you. It's you against the object, you against the car, you against the tarmac. What you ride, if you ride a very powerful bike and you're not as skillful, your chances of getting involved in an accident is high.
A very powerful bike.
Yes.
Like huge engine.
Huge engine.
In cars we have like the V8, V6, V12.
Yeah.
So in motorbike, is it the same?
We have the same, yeah.
I see like they have the CCs.
Yes, they have a 1000cc, they have a 600cc, they have a 50cc.
Okay.
So the cc can give you an idea of how powerful the motorcycle is.
So the higher the number, the more
powerful it is, yes.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not across board. There are some that are less in cc, but because of the kind of bike that they are more powerful than a higher number of a certain kind. Do you get it?
I'll come back to that.
Okay.
So let's get back to the.
Yeah.
You're talking about the motorbikes and as a contraption.
As a contraption in itself is dangerous.
Yes.
The way what you ride makes it even more dangerous. That's what led us to saying that if you ride a 600cc or a 1000cc, some makes it more difficult to ride because some are quicker, some are sharper, and so you need more skillful people to ride them. Yeah. Where you ride, like I said, if you are riding in Accra, where by the second somebody wants to kick you off the road, your chances are slim. And I also argue that there's an upside to that, where it makes you always keep your guards up.
But people think motorcycle guys are tough guys, you know.
Is the hooliganism tag associated with motorcycling?
Well, yeah, maybe.
I'll be very sincere with you and very honest with you. Yes, people think that motorcyclists are hooligans. It's unfortunate because not everybody that rides a motorcycle.
Same thing as the Rasta guys.
Absolutely. So society forms perceptions about people. I blame those who started it. Maybe they didn't give good accounts of themselves, so they were seen in a certain light. Because not everybody is a hooligan on a motorcycle.
But you know, good things happens on the fringe. So the internet exploded because of pornography. So
it's like a phobia men's thing.
But they bring the good things.
They bring the good things out. So there are people who are hooligans who ride motorcycles. You don't blame the motorcycle. The motorcycle is a machine. If somebody who is a hooligan jumps on a motorcycle, it doesn't mean that only hooligans ride motorcycles. If somebody who is a proper gentleman jumps on a motorcycle, it doesn't mean that only motorcycle.
I've seen President Mahama ride a bike.
President Mahama rides a bike.
He rides a bike. Who are some of the prominent people who ride bike that you know of?
Ex-information minister Kojo Ponkuma rides a motorcycle.
Oh, really?
Ibrahim Mama, John Mahama's brother, rides.
And I have friends too, just that they are not really popular. But I know a couple of
there are notable people in society who ride motorcycles. I'm told Kano Furata also rides.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. There are notable people who ride. Because of the erroneous tag around motorcyclists, not everybody is confident enough to let the world know that they ride motorcycles. Aside the unfortunate tag, the dangers also. So there are people who ride who don't want their family to know that they ride because
they'll come and fear-monger.
So there are people who try to keep it
underground.
So
is it possible to ride a bike in Ghana where you absolutely have no incident for the ever?
This is a difficult question to ask, to answer. But I know people who are reading and not be involved in an accident. But they are still riding. So it will be difficult to say yes or no. It's not a straightforward answer. Can you ride without being involved in an accident? Is that the question you're asking? Yes and no. Yes, because I know people who have been riding for a while now and nothing has happened to them. And so long as nothing has happened to them, they can say yes. But they are still riding. They haven't stopped riding. And so it's a very dicey question.
So how do you protect yourself on a bike to minimize the risk of extreme damage to you and to the bike? So in case you're riding a bike.
Yeah, I get a question. Makers of motorcycles, in their small wisdom, also say that if you want to get onto this machine, there's something called riding gear or protective riding gear. You have things like the helmet that will protect your skull and then your face. You have things like the riding jackets that will protect your shoulder, elbow, spine area. There are things like riding pants that will protect your hip and then your knees. And then there are riding boots that protects your feet right up to your shin level. I make this argument all the time that wearing the riding gear is not a license to be foolish or be reckless or misbehave. You are wearing riding gear, but it doesn't mean that you should also go and misbehave, because the riding gear protects the rider that is careful, not the one that is reckless. Don't wear riding gear and make it a license to, excuse my language, be foolish. The riding gear is to protect you when the odds are against you. So don't wear riding gear and make it a license to misbehave. So how do you protect yourself? Yes, you must wear proper riding gear. You must ride like someone who is sane. And
When you say like ride like someone else, what do you mean?
I've seen people ride motorcycles and it's like they have 9 lives.
Yeah, that's what a lot of these Okada guys.
Yeah, and that is what I mean. Don't ride like there's no tomorrow, because motorcycles are dangerous. There is the element of riding for a while and nothing happening, and so you think nothing can happen. It's a very dangerous thing to happen to you. Complacency.
Yeah, complacency. So ride for a while, nothing happens, so you think.
Yeah, it's one thing I preach against all the time, that never get complacent on a motorcycle. Never ever get complacent on a motorcycle, because it's a danger that you won't see coming. You will let your guard down, and that is when something very bad will happen.
I've heard people jumping off their bikes. Do you think that's advisable? In case you are colliding with something, or maybe a car has crossed you, do you think you should stay with a bike or you should jump off the bike?
I tell you this, I don't think that those people saying that they jump off their motorcycles know what they are saying. When an accident is ever happening, you are not in control that mind. You are not in that much of a control where you can decide what to do with regards to you, the person on the motorcycle. Usually you are trying to avoid the accident as much as possible. So jumping off the motorcycle, for me, it has never happened to me. When something is about happening, I want to, as much as possible, avoid it or minimize it as much as possible. Jumping off the motorcycle is not one of the things that comes to my mind at all.
So the guy who told me this told me his brakes failed.
Yeah.
And there was a vehicle right in front of him. Yes. So he jumped and just let him.
Do you know where you are jumping to go and land?
I think he knew, because he was pretty safe after that. He just had some bruises on his arm. And I don't think he was that fast.
Okay.
Yeah.
So every scenario and what you can make out of it. There are some speeds that you are traveling at and nothing will even cross your mind to jump off the motorcycle. There are some speeds that you are traveling at, and then, like you said, maybe because it wasn't fast, brake failed. That is really rare on a motorcycle. Yeah.
Really?
Very rare on a motorcycle. And being around motorcycles for a while, I know that motorcycles have got, unlike a car that has got just one pedal that you step on, a motorcycle has got 2 separate pedals. Okay. There is the front brake lever that operates the front tire or stops the front tire. There is the rear brake that stops the rear tire. Okay. Hardly will both fail at the same time. I've never heard anyone say their motorcycle brakes failed. One will fail, but the other one will be there to, unless there was some major problem with the motorcycle. Yeah.
But at certain speeds, I mean, with my later experience with bikes, you can't use the front brake because you'd have to use the back one.
Before we started the show, you said something about making information accessible yes. and available. Yes. If you ask any motorcyclist who has enough experience under their belt, they'll tell you that the front brake is the best brake on a motorcycle. Yes.
I'm using my experience from riding bicycles.
Yes. The front brake is the best brake on a motorcycle.
Okay.
Yes. It has become even better now with the input of ABS on motorcycles.
Okay, automatic braking system.
Anti-lock braking system. What will prevent the tire from locking? It is the locking of the tire that is going to lead to that toppling. Yeah. So once the tire doesn't get to a point where it locks, that is almost impossible. Okay. Yes. The front brake is what stops. 70% of the bike stopping power is with the front brake. Okay. Yes. If I want to stop at this point, And this is where I mean to stop. It is the front brake that will let me stop there, not the back brake. So on a motorcycle, the best brake is the front brake. A lot of people come to me with that mindset where they are afraid holding the front brake is going to let that happen.
Yeah. Okay.
When you bring a bicycle analogy, it's very easy for a bicycle to do that.
Yes.
It's not as easy for a motorcycle to do that.
Okay.
It's actually, you must be particular about doing that for it to happen.
Okay.
Yeah. The weight,
so you have to be
you have to be
intentional.
intentional about it. The weight of the motorcycle
It's in the front.
from the rear, it's not that easy for it to come up.
So is it heavy at the front or heavy at the back?
It depends on the kind of motorcycle. Some motorcycles are top heavy, some motorcycles are rear heavy. It depends on the motorcycle type, yeah. Some have their engines right at the front, some have their engines in the middle, some even have their engines at the back. So it's you can't say one thing for all motorcycles. But the idea of a motorcycle toppling you over is somewhat is blown out too much. It's not.
So I've been watching
Yeah.
this motor racing, like MotoGP and things. When they have accidents, I see how they fall. You realize that like they don't try to stop, they just go with the. So when something like that happens, you think you just have to go with the flow
Okay.
or
A very good question. First of all, they are riding the best motorcycles. They are wearing the best riding gear, and they are in a controlled environment. He knows that if he falls off and rolls off here, he's going to end up at a very safe place. You are riding on the Awoshi road, and you fall. Where you are going to land, there's an Okada coming from there to come around over you. So you can't do that everywhere. You can do that on a motorcycle racetrack. You can't do that everywhere.
hey, so what do you Ghana what we could do? So what do you suggest for Ghanaian riders?
If you want to ride a motorcycle, get trained properly. Ride a motorcycle that minimizes your chance of getting involved in an accident. Ride like a sane person.
Like a sane person.
Yes. And give yourself a great surviving chance by wearing the right riding apparel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wearing the riding gear doesn't mean you will not die. It's people come to me all the time saying, hey, Michelle, we are me wana. No. The riding gear only increases your surviving chances. If 10 fingers are going to be cut, maybe wearing riding gear, 2 are going to be cut. Or none will be cut, depending on the impact.
So with all these things, why do people still love bikes? I mean, I don't know. I love bikes. I mean, from afar. Yeah, but from afar. But I wonder why, people would know the danger they've seen. They feel like you've seen your friends pass away and you still love bikes.
Is there anything on earth that is without danger?
I don't think so.
Yes, so dangers will always be with us. Yes, some sports or some things make it more dangerous. But I guess living on the edge is also sometimes thrilling.
Yeah, that's the last. yeah. It makes you feel alive.
Yeah, it makes you feel alive. Yeah. I won't say anyone shouldn't ride a motorcycle, but when you ride a motorcycle, ride right. Give yourself a great surviving chance, and because I tell you this, people sit on motorcycles and people are worried for them. That kind of emotional trauma people take people through is not proper.
And I feel like that one self can give some energy.
That's
So
that's another argument altogether.
Yeah, so when you're on the bikes, you'll be thinking that they say this or they say this.
That's also another argument altogether.
Yeah, so it's really an extreme sport riding in Ghana.
It is an extreme sport. It is. And I've mentioned the factors that will make it better for you as a rider. Get trained properly. Ride a proper motorcycle, a very well maintained motorcycle. Motorcycles have got safety features. As much as possible, get one with a lot of safety features that protects you, the rider. Gear up properly and ride like a sane person. It's not absolute, but it will definitely make your chances brighter. Yeah.
Okay. So I want to talk about around in 7.
Yep.
When did it start? And what was the original idea that started it?
It was called Around in 7, now called AIS.
AIS.
Yes.
It's like an abbreviation of
An
the around in
abbreviation.
7.
But AIS doesn't mean Around in 7 anymore.
What does it mean?
It's just a name.
Just a name, like GCB Bank.
GCB. Or UT. It's just a name.
Just AIS.
Yeah.
Okay.
When it started, and I'll tell you why it has become so. When it started, we went around Ghana in 7 days. So around in 7. Going
The whole
around
Ghana
in 7 days.
So move from
wherever and go around wherever
and come back to wherever.
in 7 days.
Okay.
So we used to do around Ghana in 7 days when it first started. But as time went on, we are doing more than that. And so the name doesn't befit what we are doing, hence the change of name. So it's no longer Around in 7, it's now AIS.
Yes.
How did it start? I've gone ahead to tell you that I'm a motorcycle riding instructor, and as I was teaching people, I needed them to ride in safer zones and safer places. One of the things you can do is to advocate for safe road usage. And so I started doing road safety advocacy. I did road safety advocacy in Accra as much as I can.
Now, how do you do it? How do you do that advocacy?
Let people know that there are people on the road who are riding machines that are not really in their favor. And so you, the one in an advantaged position, have mercy on the one that is not in an advantaged position. The best case for a motorcycle mechanic, a motorcycle rider in an accident, is a hospital. The worst case for a motorcycle rider in an accident is the mortuary. You can't argue same for somebody who is driving a car. And so some are in better positions than the others.
Then why do people still want to ride it? Somebody will argue that, someone will pay now. I mean, you like it. And then
Not everybody riding a motorcycle is a matter of, it's by choice.
Okay.
Some have to make a living.
Okay. Right.
And so they have no choice. What would you say about that?
Yeah, you have a point.
Yeah, so not everybody riding a motorcycle is by choice. But we've already argued about the living on the edge bit also.
Yeah.
And some who are hopeful that things will go right. And so why not?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So doing road safety advocacy, preaching the safety message, telling people to be extra careful when dealing with motorcyclists.
Do you feel we don't really love each other as a people? Like that, or we don't understand what love is, you know? Because sometimes I feel like people see motorcycles and then like they just want to turn small and hit the guy and then
Is it a matter of not loving ourselves so much? I don't think so. This is what I think. I may be wrong, but this is what I think. People have done things a certain way over time. It has cultivated or
developed into a culture.
And so people have developed hatred for motorcyclists. Somebody breaks someone's mirror. Somebody, and then they go. Yeah. They don't say sorry. They don't say anything to you. Look at your face right now.
I get plenty like that.
So
they just go hit.
So as time goes by, these things have created this affection for motorcyclists.
Yeah.
And so when people are dealing with them, they are ruthless. And
you know what I like sometimes when
you get where I'm coming from.
Yeah, I get you. When
over time, motorcyclists have not given a good account of themselves. They have done all the worst things to people, and so when now people are dealing with them, they are ruthless.
Sometimes when I'm trying to cross a road and there's a biker and he stops and just does this, I really feel like Charlie, he's a correct guy, because I don't really get that.
We are encouraging more of that now.
Of that.
Yes.
Okay.
So when we do the road safety advocacy, these are some of the things that we do. Try to let the driver know that first of all, we apologize for the sins of those who do those things, and let them know that not everybody is like that. even if everybody is like that, you can be merciful. You can show mercy. The fact that somebody has broken your mirror or scratched your car doesn't mean that you should kill the person. It becomes a case of using a sledgehammer to kill a fly. You can tamper justice with mercy. And so we keep saying that, look, be merciful towards motorcyclists. At the end of the
So
day,
riders should be, people with cars
should
be more.
tamper justice with mercy.
Yeah, what about the authorities? What are some of the laws that, are in place for motorcycles? Isn't there something to protect the most vulnerable in society, like people on pedestrians, people on bikes, bicycles, people on motorbikes?
What more to protect the vulnerable than us showing mercy?
I'm even talking in terms of law.
Yeah,
Don't we have anything like that in Ghana?
No, I don't know of a law that, a special law that protects a motorcyclist. How should this law be like? Say that if you knock a motorcycle down,
maybe the right of way or something.
Okay, back in October, August, October last year, I heard His Excellency John Dramani Mahama talk about making it punitive for knocking down a motorcycle rider. And I think that was a very, very good thing. And maybe because he rides also, he knows that. But as of now, it's not punitive to knock down a motorcycle. What will happen is we'll go to the police station, they tell us who is at fault and who is not at fault. But what he said was they were making it punitive, i.e., whether it is the motorcyclist's fault or not, because the motorcyclist is in a disadvantaged position or is vulnerable, they must have some protection. As it stands now, there isn't that.
Okay.
As it stands now, if there's an issue, we'll go to the courts or we'll go to the police station and then they tell us who is at fault and who is not at fault. Making it punitive will give the motorcyclist a step ahead. I.e., just because I'm on a motorcycle, you must give me this leverage or give me this room because I'm riding a machine that is not that much in my favor. And so hopefully he implements that.
But are you also advocating for the laws as well?
Of course, yes. If you protect a rider, and I know that the laws are speaking for me, why not? It gets me a better stand on the road. Yeah. Already I'm riding a machine that is not so much in my favor, I keep saying. And so having the laws come to my aid is really a good news, welcoming news. Yeah. Why not? Yeah.
So we were talking about
AIS, how it all started. Yeah. So I keep saying I'm a motorcycle riding instructor, and I needed to do road safety advocacy to make sure that our roads were safer. Okay. And I started doing road safety advocacy in Accra. Thousands of riders come together. We print flyers with messages on it. We are in traffic. Placards with messages on them, talking to drivers, communicating to them and letting them know that an eye for an eye is going to leave the whole world blind. Tamper justice with mercy. Be merciful when you are dealing with motorcyclists. So we did that in Accra for a while, and then we come to realization that motorcyclists are not only riding in Accra, they are also riding in other regions, and so why not take the advocacy to other regions? So that led to AIS traveling around the country.
How do you get funded?
Advocacy. How do I get funding?
Yeah. I know that's a major thing.
Yeah, it's a major thing. The last few editions of road safety advocacy has come from the pockets of fellow riders who think that it's a good cause. And so they've always chipped in something and said, look, this is a good thing. It's going to ensure that we are all safe. Why not, put in something to make it even safer for all of us? So funding has always come from the pockets of individuals.
Well, that's a good thing.
Yeah. Some companies have come in from time to time when we are doing AIS to sponsor AIS as a whole. So their sponsorship is not targeted at the road safety advocacy only.
Just visibility.
Just visibility, yeah. So there's road safety advocacy leg of AIS, there is charity leg of AIS, and then there is discovering hidden places leg of AIS. When you travel around the country, you realize that people really, really need help. And so we try and do more of that, help the underprivileged in society. We've in the past paid school fees for brilliant but needy students. We have paid for medical bills of people who are unable to pay their medical bills. We've donated 1 million clothes to people in the upper regions. We have, we've done charity.
That'd be cool. So I also realized that you went outside to Senegal.
Yes. Well, we didn't go to only Senegal, but our endpoint was Senegal.
So tell me about that.
AIS started in 2021. Okay. So
that's 4 years ago.
The first edition was in 2021, so that's year one. Okay. 2025 was the 5th edition, okay. So we're celebrating our 5th anniversary. And I wanted to do something wild. I wanted to do 5 countries to commemorate the 5th anniversary. Okay. I rolled the dice, and then the dice fell on Senegal.
Literally? Oh, you just guessed?
I just guessed.
Okay.
I guessed with something in mind. It wasn't blank like that. I guessed with something in mind. I looked at the West African map. If I was leaving Ghana to Senegal, how many countries was I going to go through? Initially, we were going to go through Burkina Faso, Mali, but there's the security concern. We ended up going through Ivory Coast, Liberia, Sierra Leone, Guinea, and then Senegal. And that made it 5 countries. And so the idea was to do 5 countries on the 5th anniversary. And Senegal happened to be there.
So you said you went to Ivory Coast,
Liberia,
Sierra Leone, Guinea,
and then
Senegal.
Yeah. Spent a day or 2 in Senegal and then rode back to Ghana.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So throughout, was it just riding? You didn't stay in one country, you just rode and passed through?
It was almost impossible to go through one country without sleeping. So we slept in Ivory Coast actually twice. We slept in Liberia. We slept in Sierra Leone. We slept in Guinea also twice. And then we slept in Senegal. Coming back, we skipped Liberia, skipped Sierra Leone. So from Guinea, we came straight to Ivory Coast, which was really, really challenging. It was very, very tough. And then into Ghana.
So how many days in all?
When we were leaving Ghana, we said we were going to do 15 days. But the road challenges and border immigration issues and all made it 17 days and all. So we did 17 days.
No, that's not far from your target.
It's not far from the target, but there is something fulfilling in setting a target and achieving that target. So we wanted to do that 15-day thing, but unfortunately, we were unable to do 15 days. We did 17 days. And what is to blame largely for this was the delays at the borders. The minimum number of hours spent at the border was 4 hours. And I wish we knew what we didn't have. And then we can beg and say, we don't have this. Can you help us? Before traveling, I did a research. I went very deep into research because I was going to countries that I had not been to before. I spoke to people who had gone there before me to try and educate me on things. So we literally carried everything that we needed to carry. It still wasn't enough. We sat at borders, at people's mercy.
Charlie, you know the system.
You see, I get where you are coming from, but it is not.
It's not
that straightforward. Where you go to a border, you just grease some few palms and then you are made to go. It's not that straightforward. First of all, they don't even want you to think that
they take bribe.
You know, it makes it so difficult. Even though they want to take bribe.
Yeah.
You know, so it doesn't make traveling by road very encouraging. I mean, I've done this. Will I do it again? Yes. But it will take me a while before I do it again. Because I wouldn't want to go through what I went through again. It's very difficult.
So what do you think about Africa and the borders? You know, it was introduced in the Berlin Conference, I think 1883. They sat down, the Europeans, they divided Africa for themselves and they came scrambling. They called it a scramble for Africa. And after that, all these leaders come championing causes, Africa, blah, blah, blah. And we've never been able to unite since then.
Why should I be in my house and then allow someone to come into my house and tell me to demarcate the house?
Yeah.
Put this here.
It was done by force.
Put that here. Okay, they did it by force.
By force, ruthless force.
Okay.
Yes.
Are they still using force on us?
Right now, the
Can't
diplomacy. But how we go do them? How? Like I don't, because I don't think There's this thing that most of these guys are puppets of the West. Most of the leaders are puppets of the West, and if they are, then they've created a system where you can't really go against it to do what you want. And when you go against it, it means you have to have force. Yes, you have to use force. And
Burkina Faso has showed the way.
Yeah, but the guy has been...
Mali?
How many assassination attempts?
Mali?
About 14.
Life is risky.
Yeah.
He took a risk.
Yeah, he took a risk.
And they are hailing him. Yesterday I was watching something and people go to his statues and they clean his statue. I hear when you go to Ivory Coast, people have formed human walls by the presidential palace.
Ivory Coast?
Yeah. Sorry. Burkina Faso.
Burkina Faso.
If you go to Burkina Faso, they form human walls around the presidential palace. So you have to go through all those people before getting to him. They have that trust in the guy. They know that what the guy is doing is to their benefit. And so they are protecting him.
So what do you think African countries should do? Because
Burkina Faso has shown the way. Mali has followed suit.
you day here.
Guinea.
Dan.
Guinea is doing.
You day here.
What is preventing us from doing?
Yeah, but why haven't you done it?
Alone.
Yeah.
I cannot do it.
So what do you think it would take for us to do away with all these borders and just create a unified continent for ourselves? Because I think that's really going to help.
I have gone to Senegal. I've done a documentary. I'm going to be showing it to the world.
Okay.
And throw light on why we don't need borders.
Okay.
In Africa. So for my part.
Okay, yeah.
You get me?
Yeah.
Even though I know I can do more if we have a lot of like-minded people.
Yeah. So I think the education is what needs to be more. Yeah. So can you give me a gist of your documentary, like a sneak peek? Why do you think we don't need borders?
I'm going to point to you what we went through at the borders.
Okay.
And tell me whether it is humane for people who are within the same sub-region to go through such stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so that is what you expect to see in my documentary.
Yes.
We had an American who joined us from America to come and do the tour with us. He literally was always out of breath when we were dealing at the borders. In Europe, it's only a signboard that you will see.
Yeah, you see that.
To know that
entering
you have
Switzerland.
left. You understand?
Yeah.
And so, if it was that good, why aren't they doing it there? Look, I don't believe in we are puppets, blah, blah, blah. You can look at them and do things their way also.
I think we just need to be aware first.
Yeah.
People are not aware of this problem.
Yeah, so it's the education that will make people aware.
Yeah.
Like I said, I'm doing a whole documentary on what we went through at the borders. Sometimes you leave one border, 100 meters away, there's a mini border. You have to go through the same things again. You move 200 meters away, you find another kind of border. So there is the border police. You go to the immigration. You go to the something of sort of a military. And this is us in our sub-region. Do you get how frustrating it can be? I'm coming into your
even
country.
one is
Even one is.
I was going to Togo, I think 2 years ago. Well, we had even spoken to somebody at the immigration.
So
we got there still.
Aflao is one of the easiest borders to cross.
Really?
What you went through?
Yeah.
Is one of the easiest borders to cross.
Even that one was very difficult for us.
I'm saying it's one of the
1 hour there.
You spent an hour.
Yeah.
We spent 4+ hours minimum.
Charlie.
We spent $350 per border. Do you get what I'm saying? And it's not that we don't have documents. We had permits for the motorcycles. Riders had permits, yellow fever card. Name them, laissez-passer. We had everything. And so the money they were making us pay wasn't because we didn't have the documents. It was because they just wanted to extort from us. It's not encouraging traveling by road in Africa. It's not encouraging at all. We make it very difficult to travel by road. And so when people are not traveling by road, don't blame them. With what I've gone through, I need to be tougher and very resilient to want to do this again and again and again. It's challenging.
How was Guinea?
Yes, Guinea. Before we left Ghana, I had an opportunity to talk to somebody who had traveled through Guinea, a white guy who was also doing a tour, riding from Switzerland to South Africa. He came through Ghana. He saw my profile online, contacted me, and we spoke. When he came to Ghana, I hosted him. And knowing that I was going to go through Guinea, and I knew that he had gone through Guinea, I wanted him to throw more light on Guinea. He almost discouraged me from going to Guinea. Guinea was so bad that his motorcycle rim got broken.
Is it the roads?
Guinea has a bit of everything. There are roads, they have fuel issues, they have water issues, they have electricity issues. When we got to Guinea, let me not jump the curve. So I spoke to this white guy. He almost discouraged me from going through Guinea. But how else do you get to Senegal without going through Guinea? Okay. If Senegal is the place you are going, you must go through Guinea. Now, what I was looking for was a better way of going through Guinea. Guinea was going to beat you anyway, but at least let me find a better way so that I don't receive the punches so much. What made it worse was another white guy came, also said the same things about Guinea. And at that point, I was scared of Guinea. And so planning, we really tackled Guinea. Look, I came to the realization that no matter how you tackle Guinea, Guinea will still, it will lash you. I ride a motorcycle. I don't blow my horn, but I'm a good rider. And I hardly fall off a motorcycle. I fell about 3 times in Guinea. Crazy. Yeah, that was really, really intense. Their roads are that horrible. But guess what? Some of the most interesting landscapes when you are riding or driving was also at Guinea. So Guinea gave us a bit of everything in terms of road architecture, not just boring straight roads, winding roads. You see mountains, you see. Guinea gave us a bit of everything. And so even though Guinea challenged us, Guinea also gave us some of the best sites.
Cushion the blow.
So we entered Guinea and then we met with fuel shortage. For a traveler, fuel shortage is equal to you losing blood. And we're almost in shock that there is no fuel in Guinea. That means that our trip has been cut short. And your trip has been cut short. You can't also continue with the bike. You have to leave the bike. How else were we going to get around? When we met fuel shortage in Guinea, my brain froze. I didn't know how to go about it. It wasn't one of the informations that was made available. And I don't think that people knew and didn't tell us. It was just something that happened once we got there. We were very, very fortunate that we got to one fuel station. They had fuel, but because of what was going on, they were rationing the fuel. We pulled up at the fuel station, and I always say a prayer for this man anytime I'm saying a prayer. He was in his office, the owner of the fuel station, saw us, and I think he could tell from how we had dressed our number plates that we were traveling. He came out of his office, spoke to us, and then asked everybody to step aside, and he fueled our bikes and cars for us. Bro, that was like an angel sent to rescue us.
I can imagine.
But it wasn't enough to take us out of Guinea. Just before we got to the border to Senegal, we ran short again. We met another good Samaritan, but this one wasn't as good as the first one. He said I can only give everybody 10 liters of fuel. Okay. And so he also gave us some. So they really helped us, and I don't remember their names, but if one day they hear this, they know that I'm super grateful to them for that kind gesture. There was a very long queue. They asked everybody to step aside and fuel our bikes for us. That gave me hope in humanity. And so that started a new, a fresh life in Guinea for us. Because we were almost demoralized when the fuel shortage issue happened.
How many were you?
We were 8 in all. We left Ghana, 8 of us, but someone had an emergency, and so he returned at the Liberian border back to Ghana, and so 7 of us continued to Senegal.
With 7.
Yeah, it's with 7, that kind of thing.
So your tanks, how many liters of fuel can it take?
Right. It varies. Some bikes have very big tanks. Some have got small tanks. And so this is what we do when we are traveling. We use the small tanks for our measurements and then our distances. So if your tank can take 17 liters, after maybe X number of kilometers, we are all going to fuel, whether we have fuel or not. Because, and especially looking at what we learned in Guinea, you can have fuel that will travel for a while, but where you are going next, you don't know if there is fuel there or not. So it's not wise to want to run out your fuel before traveling. We also took extra fuel with us, but sometimes it gets finished. We had support vehicles that had fuel in them, but our support vehicles also broke down, and so they were no longer with us. And so even the extra fuel that we had was also stuck in a broken down car.
What vehicle was it?
So we went with 2 cars. One was a Mitsubishi, one was a Dodge. Our pickup is still in Sierra Leone 1 month after we are back in Ghana. The van is on the sea from Senegal coming. That is how difficult the trip was. The vehicles that were supposed to support us, we ended up supporting them. Yeah. So Guinea was tough by every standard. I told you about electricity issue. I told you about water issue. I told you about horrible roads. Some of them were not even roads. We had to create the roads. I'm talking about crossing 3 or 4 rivers.
Create the road.
Yeah, we have to create the roads ourselves. I'm talking about crossing 3 or 4 waters before, in a space of maybe a kilometer. You cross one river, you have to cross another river. You have to cross another river. There was this major river we crossed, but those ones were 2 canoes put together with a board in between. So it was ferrying bikes, it was ferrying cars, it was ferrying human beings. It was an interesting one. So after crossing now, we thought that was the only water we were going to cross. Now, we needed to cross waters again with even the bikes, where we had to ride through, When you sit back and it's sweet memories, but when you're going through it at the time, it's unpleasant. But when you sit back and you realize that, Charlie, this is what I went through, it makes it interesting, and sometimes you want to do it again, this time with better experience, and knowing what to expect. Sometimes not knowing what to expect is what takes creates fear. If you knew that this is what is going to come up, you prepare and psych yourself out properly, and then you face it head on like a man.
So what has it taught you about life? What are some of the lessons that you've learned from your experience? Yeah, this trip.
So much. First of all, do good regardless. I don't see myself not helping people when I can. And I mean, clearly, I told you about the fuel shortage issue. He could. That is why he helped us. And I know people who don't help, even though they have the means to. And you just need to put a smile on someone's face. Something that will take nothing away from you will mean a lot for somebody. And so let's do good as a people. Humanity is all we have. At the end of the day, if you have billions in your account, you still need people around you to enjoy the billions with. You can't enjoy it alone, so.
Saka, I interviewed Saka from Saka Home.
Yes, Saka is also my trainee.
Yeah.
I taught him how to ride a motorcycle.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He told me he sold his bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The same things we were talking about. Yeah. Family doesn't want him to ride. Yeah. They think it is too dangerous. Yeah, so yeah.
He mentioned something. He said, "You are crouching from my ebu." Every day
Fact.
You pay chairman.
Fact.
Yeah.
So like I said, if you have $20 million in your account, spending it alone is not even nice. You need people around you to spend.
Who can also spend. Who can go here,
So what he said is right. Yeah. Do good to people. let people, put a smile on faces.
Help others rise.
Yes, absolutely. It's also taught me to be even tougher. There were times that I felt like giving up many, many times on the trip. But you realize that just a little more push and then you are over the line. And, it's also taught me to prepare for things even better. Now, if I'm preparing for something, I'll put in layer 1, put in layer 2, and then put in layer 3. Because you know that even layer 1 can break down. Layer 2 may also break down. By the time it gets to layer 3, you would have, gained some ground. So it's taught me to prepare better when I'm doing things. I never took French lessons seriously when I was in school. I really hit myself when it got to times where we had to rely to speak French, and so when they are teaching you French in school, pay attention. Every rider going forward must learn how to do some basic fixes on their motorcycle, because even those that you think will support you can leave you.
So it's taught you independence.
Absolutely, that's the word.
Develop other
Yes,
skills.
Yes, that's the word.
So how did you feel when you go back to Ghana after the whole journey?
Somewhere in between Sierra Leone and Guinea, one bike burst their tire, and we were looking for the tire. When we got the tire, it was as though kids who had been given lollipop. Meanwhile, in Accra, in Ghana, the tires are everywhere. The fact that we were even happy to have found a tie. I sat back, I was watching one of the videos, I'm like, really?
Yeah.
We are happy to find a tie. That should tell you that, look, when you have something, please cherish it. Because
when you lose it,
I was so surprised that, looking at a tie, and we're all in jubilant mood that we had found a tie. And so when you have something, Charlie.
Yeah. Just like your health.
Yeah.
Once you lose it, you realize that that's the only thing that's important.
When they say travel and see, this was the real travel and see. The travel and see manifesting itself in flesh. Yeah, so humanity came alive. Humanity also was dead at some point.
It's the balance that makes us appreciate. Things.
Same Guinea, we had someone helping us. Same Guinea, we had people maltreating us.
All the countries. Right. We talked about the scenery and other things. Which one had the best?
The most?
Yeah, the best routes.
It won't be blankets, because somebody will give you a bit of everything. Somebody will give you a lot of something and take away something, and so it won't be blanket to say that Senegal was the best or Guinea was the best.
It may even be dependent on the route you took.
The route you also took. So it would be unfair to pass a judgment and say, but the roads we used, and I've said this many times, even though some others have disagreed with me, that Guinea was the best place for me. Guinea gave me...
the Mensa.
Yeah, Guinea gave me everything. And so for me, Guinea was the best for me.
Okay.
And to see that a leader who came to power through the barrel of the gun is hailed the way he is hailed. Mamadou Doumbouya, they love the guy. For someone who came to power through the barrel of the gun, it's like, he needed to rescue his people. Anywhere you go, you find his picture there. Everywhere you go, his picture is there. And they speak highly of the guy. They speak fondly of the guy. And also, when you think that Ghana's currency is weak, travel around West Africa to see how powerful our cedi is. Yeah, when you get to you always have to change money at the border. When you get to the border and you change money, they can give you this much money for fuel and then maybe accommodation. If you hold that amount of money in Ghana, you are going to buy a house. You understand what I'm saying? So there were upsides and then there were downsides. But some also argue that because we redenominated. Remember Kufuor redenominated, and so he's taking away some of the zeros. Yeah, but it's a good thing because now I don't have to carry money in a Ghana must go to go and buy fuel. You understand? So there's still a plus there for us.
Well, Okay, so recently heard the president say he wants to legalize the Okada business.
Let
What
me
do you
sit
think?
that right.
What do you think about legalization of Okada business?
I did some small law. I had a lecturer who has passed away, VCRAC crap. Do you know him? A legal luminary. One of the things he kept telling us was any law that is broken with impunity because of necessity is a law that must be looked at again. Though illegal, it is being done every day, and it's as though we can't even live without it.
It's necessary.
Do you get my
agree.
point?
Yeah.
So, though illegal, it is necessary. And so, why don't we legalize it and then run it properly? And so, legalization of Okada is welcome news.
So one last thing I want us to be wrapping up. I want to know if you are trying to get a bike in Ghana,
Yeah.
what are some of the things you need to consider?
As with everything, there are high ends and then there are low ends. I know people who would only wear certain kind of outfits, who would only use certain kinds of perfumes, who would only wear certain kinds of shoes. And I know those two who don't mind what they are wearing. And so it's just like everything. The deeper your pockets and then how sweet your taste buds can be. And so again, there's no blanket. I can't sit here and say that when you want to get a bike, this is what you must get, or that. It depends on how deep your pockets.
So for me, let me give you my case.
Yes. So say that Kofi Amufa.
Kofi Amufa.
Who is this?
Yes,
what
Kofi
do you have for
Amufa.
me? Then I'll tell you.
I have a
Somebody else
budget
will say
of,
something.
let's say I have a budget of, let's say, maximum 50K.
Right.
50,000 Ghana cedis. I want a bike that's strong,
Yeah.
easy to maintain.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know how to ride a
Yeah.
bike. So maybe right after learning, that's the bike that I'll be using. I won't be traveling long, maybe in groups with like maybe people that are going to the mountains and maybe in my area small one time be. So I want a bike.
Right.
And I also want to be carrying things inside
Right.
the bike.
Right.
Yes.
Very good. Now that you have narrowed it, I also narrowed my answer. The Japanese bikes tend to be friendly. It's as though when they are building it, they have Africa in mind. They have people's pockets in mind. And so when they are building it, they put in, and this is not a matter of emotions, this is facts and figures. The Japanese bikes always tend to outlast the European. Usually we have either the Japanese machines or the European machines on the market. So facts and figures have spoken for the Japanese for years. They are more pocket friendly, they are more robust, they are more durable. And so if you don't have a deep pocket, you lean towards the
Japanese bikes. So which ones are the Japanese bikes?
There's Yamaha,
Yamaha.
there is Honda, there is Suzuki, there is Kawasaki.
Okay.
Any of these four is super. But I usually go for Yamaha first because I think that they are the primus inter pares. Even within their rank, they're always ahead of the rest.
Will this comment get you in trouble with other guys?
So when I speak, I back it up.
Okay.
So if you bring trouble, I will show you facts and figures.
Okay.
Why I think that Yamaha has gone ahead of the rest.
Okay.
There's something called fly-by-wire, and I'll explain to you what it is. When you see somebody ride, you know they are always twisting the throttle with their right hand. Yeah. Yes, so there's a cable connected to something somewhere. It's a cable that does it manually and physically. You see a cable. There's also called fly-by-wire where it is magnetic. So it's only sensory. Okay. So when I turn this, it picks some signals and then travels. So that's a great innovation. Yamaha did it first. Okay. Do you understand? Okay. There is something called a cross-plane engine. Usually engines function a certain way. There is piston 1, piston 2, piston 3, piston 4. Piston 1 and piston 4 work at the same time. Piston 2 and 3 work at the same time. Yamaha did what we call the cross-plane, where piston 1 is working on its own, 2 is working on its own, 3 is working on its own, 4 is working on its own. It's a deviation from the norm. Yamaha did it first. And so you can't come and really argue.
It's like they put a lot of thought into it.
You get my point. So if you come with trouble and say that why have I chosen Yamaha, I'll give you the technicalities why I have chosen Yamaha. I'm a facts and figures person. This is it right in front of us. You cannot debate this. So all Japanese bikes are good, but I always go for Yamaha first, and then followed by Honda, and then maybe Kawasaki, and then Suzuki in that order.
So the European ones, the BMWs?
The BMWs, the Ducatis, the Aprilias, you've heard them, yeah. They go for more looks. They go for more. They are more state of the art in terms of what you see eye-pleasing can be. When you see them, you say, wow. It doesn't mean that the Japanese don't have those things, but that is not what their focus is on. The Europeans, however, especially the Italians, they like style. They will show you bikes that you have to look at and then turn your head and then look at again. Yes, beautiful. Can it outlast a Japanese bike? No. Because that is where the Yamaha strength also is, or the Kawasaki strength is. They have been built to last a generation. Some have been built for you to see and then smile just by looking at them. So
which Yamaha type can fit into my budget? Which type of the Yamahas? And how many cc's?
Good. Yeah. It also comes with your riding years experience. I have sat here and I've said many things about getting a lot stuck in your favor when you learn how to ride. If you're a beginner, you should ride a certain kind of bike because you are likely to make some mistakes as a beginner. There are some bikes that will punish you when you make a mistake. There are some that will forgive you when you make a mistake. There are some bikes that when you twist the throttle, the bike wants to move. There are some that when you twist the throttle, it will crawl before moving. So if you're a beginner, choose bikes that are forgiving. Usually there are capacities. And I always say this, between anything 0 to 500 cc, a beginner can hop onto it. Between anything 700 to 850, 900, intermediate. 1,000 and above, strictly professional. Again, so this is good information. Every brand will normally have, so there is make, there is model, there is capacity. So I see something like Yamaha Tenere 700. The make is Yamaha, Tenere is the model, and then capacity is the cc. So Yamaha Tenere 700. In every category, every manufacturer has a motorcycle there. So Honda has Honda Transap 750. Suzuki will have Suzuki DR 700 or 600. Kawasaki will have Kawasaki. So in every category, everybody has something there.
So is 50,000 on the higher side or is reasonable?
50,000, you've just begun going into the. You are almost exiting the beginner level and just began going into the intermediates. Yeah, that's 50K.
Is there anything that you'd want people to know? Anything on your mind? Anything that, first of all, anything MotoChecker wants to say? Anything AIS wants to say? And anything Gear Shift wants to say?
Motorcycling has been bastardized for a while, and it's one of the things that really bothers me. I want to see motorcycling done right. I want to see motorcyclists give good accounts of themselves. Portray motorcycling in the best of images so that it doesn't make the work difficult for everybody. You should be free to sit on a motorcycle without being afraid of dying, but because of things you've seen in the past or what somebody has seen or somebody who is close to you has heard, it makes it very difficult for us. So let's give good accounts of ourselves as motorcyclists so that we win the affection of public.
Thank you very much, Dan.
You're welcome.
It's been a pleasure talking to you, my guy. Tali, thank you.